Hey, collective. What's up, Soul Tribe? Visitors, friends of friends. Hi, y'all. Good morning. Today is March 26, 2025. Today is Wednesday, hump day. Got to get over the hump. We got to get over the hump. All right, how we getting over the hump? How we doing out here in these streets, in these spiritual streets? Huh? Let's get some lesson cards here. Let's get some chords here. Wow, solar plexus and the light. Look at that. The sun and your solar plexus. What you do. Okay. All right. How you carry yourself, right? This is well, they're both in reverse. That ain't good. So somebody could be out here doing the most in the South Node energy. Ooh, child, that ain't good. Are these okay? The whole deck upside down. Okay, y'all doing what y'all supposed to be doing. All right, that got spirit said that was a warning. That was a warning. Yeah, you're doing the right thing, right? You're very fertile at this time. You're very creative. Whatever you're calling in, whatever you're putting out there into the universe, whatever you're telling them you want, however you're showing up, it's like you're not just, asking for it. You're showing the universe that you want it, that you deserve it, that you can handle it. All right, come on, and it's coming through. All right. Your loves, your passions, the things that make you happy, the things that make things grow around you, that brings you growth, right? Spirit, what's going on here? I don't know who these folks is that's on the internet trying to, I don't know if they're doing chemistry or they're doing spell work. With the Six of Wands, these are little witches and warlocks, I heard. Yeah, they getting spells and shit off of the internet. To gain some kind of victory, right? To cheat, basically. To cheat. To get a leg up, possibly even going into a lane that they don't even know nothing about, so they think they can just find a cheat code and get in alignment with it, but that ain't how it works, baby. You got to go through the fire, and I promise you got to. I promise you got to. You got to go through vigorous life lessons in order to learn how to manifest, big girl or big boy. To master, you have to master yourself. When you have to look on the internet to find spells to get a leg up, that means you don't know yourself. You have to look outside yourself. Come on, spirit. Love begins. This is the Ace of Cup energy. All right, this is love. This is outpouring of love. This is self-love. This is you pouring into others because you have a reservoir. Come on now. Listen, because you have a reservoir. This is where you get your energy from. This is from source, from the light. Not darkness, from the light. All right? Listen. It's going to bring you into, look at all this green, this spiritual union. There go your heart chakra, love, right there. 4 and 2, 2 and 4, 24, 42. Take it how it resonates. You pour out love, you get your energy, you get your spirit. Everything about you is from source. Everything about you is from source, from the universe. Enlightenment, how you carry yourself. You have ancestors that support you. See those orbs all around her? You got spirit guides all around you. Y'all be seeing them in the videos. Sometimes they flash by. Yeah. What's this message, spirit? Listen. Material and spiritual prosperity. Come on now. Listen. I'm hearing because of how generous and how humble, how giving, how it's like this overpour. You just pour it out. You're gonna be in a material and spiritual prosperity. That means you're gonna be abundant in all areas of your life. Not saying that you're going to be filthy rich. Key. Something about a key, a skeleton key. But you're going to be comfortable, right? You're not going to have to struggle and worry for, to live from paycheck to paycheck. You're going to have extra, right? And what do you do with the extra? You help others, right? Not, listen, you take care of yourself too. Don't get it twisted. But don't let us not take the blessings and the grace and mercy that God gives us, confirmation, right? And then we hoard it. And we don't want to share it with others that are deserving of it. Even those that are less fortunate. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Who are we to judge who deserves something and who doesn't, right? Disruption, okay? Some of you could feel discombobulated at this time, or feel like you're not in alignment. 7, you're going through a transformation. Some of you guys can feel, you're going through a transformation. You're breaking that cycle of bondage. You're breaking that cycle. Or somebody may want to try. Listen, you see that light behind this person? You can see the light coming through. Ooh, child. Look at this. Was somebody trying to keep you in bondage so that you couldn't receive the light? Or look, better than that, people couldn't see your light. Somebody tried to block your light, to cause you to be out of alignment, right? So that you couldn't, receive, what you need to receive from source, right? So that you can continue to receive. Somebody wanted to deplete you, right? Somebody wanted to hold you bonded, hold you hostage. Ooh, somebody was trying to hold you hostage. Yep, but you stood your ground. Look, you stood your ground. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You stood up for yourself. You stood up for what you knew was right. Listen, because you have, what do you call it? Integrated the dark and the light. With that scepter, you can see both the dark and the light behind the veil. Is what I'm talking about. The energy, the information, the knowledge, the wisdom. Because you stood your ground, you integrated your dark and your light side, right? You stayed in the light, right? But you know where you could go. You know what you could have done, right? And that, what happens is that allows you to see the darkness. Not just in yourself, but in others too. When you get control, when you recognize that your darkness is a part of who you are, right? And you accept it, but you don't allow it to control you. Listen, you have a conversation. This is where you go to God and you ask God excuse me, Father. Strike that from the record. You ask God to reveal those things about you so that you can heal from it, right? Not that he said he will remove your sins. That means your sins that are attached to your shadow side. Because when we're in our shadow energy, we do things that we probably regret later. You know what I mean? So Spirit said, I'm going to remove that energy of regret. I'm going to remove that energy of guilt and shame. I'm going to remove that from you because you were in your dark side. I forgive you. And you ain't never got to feel those emotions again. You hear me? Not that it goes away to what we did, but you don't have to feel that shame and guilt. He removes that shit. But you recognize it, you see it, you know if you ever step that way again, what it feels like. But most importantly, you can see it in other people because you was there. You did the same thing. But you know where it comes from. They don't know yet. Come on now. You stood your ground. People tried to hold you hostage to that energy, to that low vibrational energy, right? Because they couldn't see, they didn't want you to see. I don't even feel like it was about a jealousy thing, but at some point it becomes jealousy because, their low vibration says, you think you better than me. Their low vibration says, you're showing off and you're just trying to show out on me. Your low vibration is saying, turn off that fucking light. What's the message? Victory and success. Listen, you overcame. You overcame and you get to shout. That's right. You balanced your life. Come on, Spirit. You balanced yourself out, man. You learned every aspect of yourself. The sword, the cup, the pentacles, the wand. You learned to balance out every aspect of yourself. There could have been times where you maybe drank too much. There could have been times where you couldn't control your finances. You had to get that shit under control, right? There may have been times you couldn't control your mouth and shit that you was doing. You couldn't control your sex life. You got that shit under arrest. You understand me? Come on now, Spirit, talk to me. Patience and planning. Seasons. You had to go through each season of life. You had to go through the being at the bottom, recognizing it, right? Remember when you was at the bottom and you did shit to steal it and take and manipulate it because you was in that lack energy. And then when you learn how to sit with self and what you had to be a fuck enough. And you trusted God and God provided. You didn't have to go out there and steal and rob no more because he made sure that doors would open so them bills could get paid. Food could be on the table. You could get where you needed to go. Because you trusted him. You trusted the source. You knew that you no longer had to do dirty, rotten, grimy shit. You didn't have to do it no more. You didn't have to try to fit in with nobody no more. You knew that that was not your destiny because that's how we feel when we in it, especially those that are coming out of that shit. Those that have the courage, we know that ain't where I'm supposed to fucking be. But you have to have the courage to go where you're supposed to be. Where's your soul calling you? I know if you, listen, I used to hear, bitch, this is not where you live. Because when we down in the dirt, we still try to have that pure heart. That shit'll get you killed. That's why it's uncomfortable, because you can't be yourself. You're down there with monsters, snakes, with thieves, robbers, murderers, rapists, drug peddling, I'm saying peddling, the ones that feed it. I'm going to tell you another secret. The ones that feed it usually end up on it. I'm telling you, whatever you put someone through, you will have to experience it. And whatever you put your foot on somebody's neck that was going through something because you thought you was better than, you will experience it. And let me tell you something else. Y'all think, when I tell y'all that, y'all be looking for the shit that you did to somebody, but I'm going to tell you about karma. Karma come in any fucking door it want to. You don't see it coming because you're looking to be repaid the same way you pay. But oh no, what you're gonna get is the same fucking feeling. It may not come the same way, baby, but you're gonna feel that feeling that you made somebody else feel. Ah, light bulb, huh? I seen the light come on. Listen. I know what I'm talking about because I've been down there. I know. I was down there trying to be me. I couldn't be me down there in the dirt. I couldn't be me in my fucking addiction. I had to transform and mutate and become one of you. I didn't like it. I didn't like how we was treating each other. I didn't like how we couldn't fucking have shit. You understand? It was always backstabbing, disease, sexual immorality, all that shit. There was no honesty amongst no fucking thieves and addicts and drunkies and all that shit. There ain't no honor in that shit. I tried to be honorable in my fucking disease. Man, listen. I got walked all the fuck over. But because of my humility, even in my addiction, my Father protected me. And when I called on him, he came and got me. When I called my dad, because look, this fucking party's getting out of control, we all finna die, he came and got me. Thank you, Spirit. And he made my ass sit down. Now look what you done got yourself into. Right? Have you learned your lesson? Yes, Father, I have. Now, what you gonna do going forward? I'm gonna try to teach my friends how to get the fuck out of that trap. Financial and material changes. Things are about to change in your life, in all areas of your life. In your love life, in your prosperity, your finances, in your spiritual life, in your community life, your friendships. There's a transformation that's happening for you. Listen, triumph. I'm telling you, yes. Listen, things are coming to fruition for you. All because you trusted. You know what I'm saying? You trusted in God. You trusted in the Most High. You trusted in you. You trusted that who you were inside, you knew without a shadow of a doubt. I don't care what you was in the midst of, because we have to come out the shadow, right? But you knew that this was not where you were supposed to be trying to create. This is not somewhere you were supposed to be planting seeds. Think about this. All the seeds you planted in your lower vibration, are they still viable? Are they still alive? Are those plants still moving or growing, or are they gone? I'm just saying, think about it. Are you still in that energy? And are you looking around and you seeing dehydrated dead plants? Do you see a lush green grass? I ain't talking about the turf builders that you buy. I ain't talking about the shit you stole from Walmart on that side gate where they keep the plants and shit. I ain't talking about that grass. I'm talking about the grass where you planted your seeds. Is it prospering? Is it coming? Is it fertile? Is it time to move? Is it time to go and find you some fertile ground? It starts with us, because we're only going to be able to go where we are inside. We're only going to be able to attract what we have inside. Look at this. That was popped out. Look, emotional withdrawal. Look, it's about going within. Turning your back on things that no longer serve you. All those flashy things, bright, shiny shit, right? Come on, man. Let me tell you something. Look at sacrifice. I can't make it up. Emotional loss, disruption, authority. Oh, the cards are up, right. Okay. I'm going to put this back. Emotional withdrawal. Yes. Look. You see that handprint and those feet prints? That's that energy of when God starts to carry you. When it's time for you to rest. When it's time for you to just stop. All right? And let all that shit go, because you're already leaking. We can smell you coming down, that stench. You know that stench? You know, that hatred of ourselves. Like when we come from being on a 3 or 4 day fucking run, our clothes are dirty, we smell like shit, you know what I'm saying? And we look dirty, we look disheveled and shit because we ain't had a bath and shit. You know, I remember. Right? And then we got to go out, it's bright sun, people going to work and shit like that, and it's a fucking humiliating. But you can't stay where you at, because they're telling you it's time for you to fucking go. The money done ran out, the drugs done ran out. Now they want to go and eat. They want to eat their food that they've been hiding from you for 4 days. Man, listen. Had you spent all your money, or maybe you bought their food when you had some, right? And now they want you to leave. They don't want to share the shit with you. Ain't that some shit? It happened to me. Shit. Man, listen. Deception and envy. Look at this shit, man. I'm telling you. People are envious. Listen, because you made the ultimate sacrifice. You sacrificed it all and bet on yourself. You bet on the Lord, Spirit, to pull you out of this darkness, out of this murky, dark water. It's like water you can't even see in front of you. You don't even know what the fuck's in there, right? You done got bitch, you done got them jellyfish burns or whatever, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff is lurking in that dirty water. People throw their shit in there, they toiletry stuff in, you know. Everybody throw all their stuff in that water. Man, listen, help me. Get out, help me. You called on him and he came and got you. Okay? Yeah, somebody's very envious of you. They're envious of how you transform. They're envious of the changes that are happening in your life. They're envious of, you know, how things are turned out for you. What we got here? mental conflict and crown chakra. Man, listen. You can't, listen, you ain't confused no more. But somebody else is, they in their two minds because their crown chakra is being activated as well. But what are they going to do? Because they so envious. Confirmation. Come on, spirit. Confirmation, they envious. What you're doing is actually triggering them, right? What you're doing is showing, look at this, 777, take it out, resonate, right? Look, foundations and achievements. Come on. You're planting good seeds. You're planting a solid foundation. And that comes with your spirit first. Self-love. And then love for others. Okay? Crown chakra. Deception and envy. Mental conflict. Because they're envious of you, they can't even talk, they can't even get themselves together to change their own life. It's like they're in two minds, right? They're struggling, they're fighting with they're fighting with releasing their past and following in your footsteps. Following you, I said following behind you, I heard, right? Or do they stay where it's safe? But see, let me tell you something. When you're in two minds like that, when there's a huge part of you is like, when you're just on the verge of that releasing shit, when you're in two minds like that, that's the beginning of somebody's awakening. I promise. That's the beginning of somebody's awakening. Somebody's about to go through this, because when you recognize your soul is in the wrong place, but you're too scared to move, it's gonna be real fucking uncomfortable where you at. You ain't gonna be able to talk. Look, people gonna stop fucking with you. Listen, you're gonna start you're gonna be pushed the fuck out. Thank you, spirit. You're gonna be pushed out. That's what I'm hearing. Take it how it resonates. Let's get some of these infinity oracles from my collective. Listen, self-worth, can't make it up. And self-sabotage, listen. Only thing that's going to happen is you're going to try to put yourself back into another cycle with these same energies, with the same energy that you was in. Listen, self-worth comes through isolation. Come on now, spirit, because if you can't sit by yourself, you don't love yourself. You're not there yet. Spirit, what's the message? Yeah, deception and envy. Somebody envies your crown chakra. Somebody envies your intuition. Somebody envies your connection with source. But it's a fucking connection we can all have. The source is the universe. It's available to everybody. Look, it's available to everybody. It ain't just like God just chose me. I chose God. He's always been here. What we got here? Listen, isolation. You could be in isolation collective and you're all right with that. You already know, because you see things in a new perspective. You don't see anything. Listen, you ain't missing shit. If you really look at it, to tell the truth, if you have everything you need and you're living okay, you're not stressing, you don't have anxiety, you don't have drama, you're fine. You ain't missing shit. If you don't have anybody in your life right now, and you don't feel like desperate and thirsty and shit, like you're okay. Some of us feel like, look, I'm really okay by myself. I really don't want nobody to bring their negative fucking energy in around me. I don't. But you know ain't nobody perfect. That's something I gotta work on. But I've gotten so fucking comfortable with loving me and trusting God that, man, listen, I don't need no company. Don't come over here just because you need, because it drains my energy, and then you drop off your fucking energy. I'm real selective like that. Come with some good, vibrant energy. Come with some energy where you want to celebrate and excitement, and you want to share it with me. Don't come for me to give it to you. Not all the time, you know what I mean? Because listen, I know who I am, so I have to learn how to turn it off. Because I'll give it all to you. I used to do that. I don't do that no more because I need some too. I love me too. And if you don't love me like I love me, or close to it, then listen, I'll give you what I can, but I'm not going to let you deplete me. Ain't nobody doing that no more. Ain't nobody listen, somebody stop. In that conflict, mental conflict, that's what it is. Somebody's scared. Look, somebody could have ghosted you because they were scared. They didn't want to they didn't want to go through that period of self-reflection. You know, somebody wasn't ready to give up the thrill, right? These could be anybody. They weren't ready to give up. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. Eternal love. Come on, Spirit. I seen you. I seen it, you know. This is somebody that's still 3D based. They don't trust anything they can't see, right? And another thing is pride and ego. Somebody thinks that they're in control of their life. Really? Then you should be happy then. If you are happy, then you doing what you're supposed to do. If you can do it without God, listen, abundance is near. Abundance is near. You have victory here. Spirit said, take a risk. What have you really got to lose? And if you're scared to lose these friends and family members, listen, I thought that too. I did. If I go this way and nobody, is gonna support me, then I'm gonna be by myself. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I did it. Because you know what? First and foremost, I wasn't gonna let no fucking body bully me. Man, woman, or child. I wasn't gonna let nobody bully me because I know I'm too good of a fucking person. Right? And I had to learn how to respect myself. And when I learned how to respect myself, that means now you gotta respect me. And a lot of people feel like, well, who are you? Well, I'm gonna be me. And I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. If you can't come to me in love and peace and joy and happiness, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say you gotta have your life together, but don't fucking come over here, right? To disrupt mine. Because I'm not gonna let you. I don't have to sacrifice myself for anybody today. Y'all got to do the sacrificing now. And I ain't talking about sacrificing me on no motherfucking altar with no fucking voodoo doll. I ain't talking about sacrifice like that. You know what I'm talking about. And that's why you karma's coming for that shit too, because you know damn well God is the ultimate authority. So how dare you sit down here and try to attack God's child with some fucking spiritual work? You know? Come on, man, with that dumb shit. Generous offer. There's a generous offer coming. Yeah. Listen, and the ego death. Somebody's going to understand that God's in control. He's always been in control. He's always. Everything's recorded. Everything's recorded. And everything's energy. And then people wonder how people know things, they can see things. Because when you vibrate up in the ethers, everything has to go through the energy. So that means all of that shit y'all doing out here is up there in the fucking ethers. And those that are vibrating up there in the ethers, that get spirit, get messages from source, all that shit comes trickling right to us. And then, how they know that? How they know? You don't hear me. You don't hear me. God is the source, baby. God is the source. He sees every move you make, every trick, every Google to see how to do this, every witch doctor or spiritualist that you paid to look in other people's lives and to do spell work and all that good shit and the shit that you practice for yourself. Man, listen, you should know, right? God knew you was going to do it before you did it. He knew what you was going to think about. He knew your character. He knows where you're at. He knows that if he does something over here, that you're going to try and do something. All right, because you're vibrating in low vibrations. That's because you don't know nothing else. That's because you're not even in the energy of accepting and saying, wow, that's wonderful for somebody else, and start doing work on yourself. He knows that. Everything's a test. Everything. Yeah, you wasn't expecting that message. Somebody's about to get an unexpected message. It could be something about a generous offer. Let's see, Spirit. What's this message for my collective? Counseling and therapy. Somebody could be offering y'all some counseling or therapy. Take it. Look, something could be happening in the summer. Maybe some of y'all could be becoming counselors or therapists. Okay? Light workers. Look at that. That's what I heard. What we got here? Eternal love. God's love. Come on, man. The only love. right? Yep, somebody's busy and distracted. Or somebody, listen, I was going to say somebody pretending to be busy and distracted, they running. Maybe somebody acts as if they don't see you. But deep down inside, they see you. Somebody watches you behind a fake profile, I heard. I don't know why this is giving me Aquarius with those waves. That's giving me that aqua energy. Somebody could be pretending they busy and distracted, but they're really not. They stuck and they're in two minds and they don't know what to do with themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they envy how you have, how you were courageous enough to go with your higher thought, right? Even though when you try to separate from a group, you know what I'm saying? That people is like, well, why don't they want to hang around us and out of this and that, right? And then they get mad, right? They want to know why, and they resent you because you weren't afraid to step out on faith. You didn't stay in the trauma bond circle, because that's all it is, a trauma bond circle. All of us got fucked up, all of us are hurt, and some of those circles is we've been fucking hurting each other. So we gotta stick together no matter what, because we'll just fucking beat up each other and shit. And can't nobody else fuck with my sister or my brother but me. Remember that shit? Huh? Remember that shit as a kid? Ain't nobody gonna be fucking with my brother or sister except me. I do this to my brother, let somebody else try this shit. Yeah, you feeling me? Yeah. Generational fucking curses we set. You know what I mean? We believe and we agree with, and deep down inside we're like fucking trauma bonding and destroying each other's character and our confidence and our self-esteem, and we stay in these little fucking bubbles, man, these little fish bowls. Look, ego death, man. Listen, somebody's about to have a serious, and they want to open up about it too. Somebody wants to open up about how they feel. They don't know. Yeah, somebody's going through some kind of heartbreak. Yep. Now they feel like it's time for them to take control of their life because they see how you took control of yours with that mirror. Look at that. Look at that. See, all your efforts have not been in vain. That's why God said, get out the way. Just stay in your lane, keep your blinders on, and do what I tell you to do. All right? Don't worry about what's happening over there, because sometimes we go like this and we see somebody struggling and we want to help. Right? We don't want them to struggle because we already got over that hurdle. So we can reach back and get people, but people got to be able to do the work, though. You're not to carry anybody on your back. Yeah. Ego, death, and an apology. Somebody may be coming in to apologize to you, right? Because they see that you do love yourself. And when you love yourself, you love other people. That's just a fucking automatic. That's just something that happens. That's just the overflow. If you love yourself, you ain't out here hurting no fucking body. I promise. Not on purpose. You might hurt some people's fucking feelings when you put up them boundaries. Right? You may hurt some people's feelings or their ego and shit when you say, no, you can't come over here and give me your bullshit no more. No, you can't keep coming and siphoning off of me, and when I need you, you ain't fucking around. You don't call and check on me. But when you in need, here I am. And when you get right, there you go. Thank you, Spirit. No more shoplifting. And then people wonder why shit be missing in their house, like peace, joy. Because people come over, they give you their shit, you make them feel better, they fucking leave. Right? They leave all that negative energy there, and then they don't even call and check on you or even, nigga, come back and help me clean this shit up. Nah. Those are the ones that come and eat and don't help with the fucking dishes. But next week they'll be calling, what you cook. Fuck out of here. Unexpected message. Yeah, somebody could be calling to apologize. Right, nothing happens by coincidence. Nothing. Sometimes we may think that our efforts were in vain, but see, all you are supposed to do is plant the seed and keep moving. You got a lot of ground to cover. You ain't got time to stop and wait and see what happens. No, you plant that seed and you trust God just like you do with the animals. They don't be out here talking about, damn, I wonder what next summer gonna be like, and we're gonna have somewhere to say it. No. They keep moving in life, And God provides. And God puts it on our hearts to provide for them when they need help. That's why we got veterinarians and shit like that. Those are people that God puts that on their heart to help those. That sometimes shit happen in animal kingdoms and shit. You know what I mean? They ain't got no doctors and shit, but if we could put our expertise on them, get at least help them to survive. Right? Just like he does us. We're like those damn little animals. Child, please. and he sends others, he gives them a skill or set to help us heal. You know what I mean? But because we're human, he gave us the ability to heal ourselves. And to help heal others. We can heal this fucking race. This human race. We can do it. But people are so caught up in the 3D and the material world. Man, listen, that's why people are losing so much shit, because God trying to tell you something. Listen, this shit don't mean nothing. You ain't doing what I need you to be doing. I need you to be out here making sure that everybody know who the fuck I am. So we could turn this around. But no, instead they took it out of the schools. They took it out of everything. They took God out of everything. They even try and take it out of us. No. Just say no. Say no. No. We ain't having that. Even if we gotta stand fucking alone. Sometimes you gotta stand for something or fall for anything. What's the message here? New love. New love of self. New love. Seeing love in a new perspective. Recognizing it. Recognizing that you can't pay for it. Right? That I don't care how much money you got and how many people you do shit for. Right? And how tight you think they are. They don't love you. They love what you can do for them. And you love that they're there. Even though you ain't happy, you people like that, they see people that for who they know that they're shicey. They know those motherfuckers are here for my money. They know that shit, and they know they willing to do anything to fucking get it. That's that back and forth dynamic. You willing to lower yourself? I'm willing to fuck with you like that, cause I'm getting my needs met too. But those motherfuckers ain't never happy, cause ain't nobody never there on a legit fucking reason. Ain't nobody there because they love them, and if they lost everything, they still be there. Child, please. Listen, twin flame, somebody gonna learn today. You can't keep running for self. Look, you'll be celebrating. What's that? Look. You can't keep running from yourself, because everywhere you go, you taking you with you. I don't know what y'all thought. I learned that shit a long time ago. When I was in a detox. Look, you could go. You can relocate. You can do all that shit. Right? But you always take you with you. And if you don't heal that inner inside, if you don't heal that toxic shit, you gonna go somewhere and infect the next motherfucking place. The next relationship. The next town. You'll have everybody over there talking about you. Because, you know what I'm talking about. You put on that mask like you this motherfucking, you want to come in like you a king and shit, and you got your shit together. And then it slowly starts to unravel. That mask slowly starts to crack. Right? You start learning out where they get high. You go into the bar. You do it. Man, come on. You already know. Finding that woman, right? And try to pretend. You can't pretend if it ain't within. How about that shit? What's going on here, spirit? And anybody that's healed is going to recognize that shit. Some of y'all are running to new neighborhoods, new cities, and new towns and shit, and people are recognizing your shit immediately. Yeah, you can't trick these people, huh? Look at that shit. Yeah, people are seeing your shit immediately. And that's just God. That's just the universe doing what it gotta do. That's the universe trying to slow you the fuck down and stop you so you can go ahead and do what you gotta do. Because I promise you it's not gonna get any better. Nope. Somebody's spiraling out of control. I feel it. Signs from nature. Somebody, those seeds you've been planting. Yep, you planting them seeds and running. Child, telling people, selling, it's like a door-to-door salesman. That's what I heard. Somebody's a door-to-door salesman. Selling illusions. Talking about they got these seeds, they want to plant some seeds and get people get people vulnerable and open their hearts and they wallets and shit, and then they take off and people still waiting. They waiting for them fucking seeds to grow. They still waiting until they realize they got played. With my flowers. Look, I got grass. I ain't got a single flower that came out them bulbs. You hear me? Man, listen. They probably, I don't know if they grew like that, so they getting enough sun. So, but there's no flowers. I'm gonna have to Google those plants because I think they just selling shit in the store. Man, I got that from the dollar store. I do shit like that. I be in there. The little pots too. I be in the store, man. Listen, what we out here? Okay, yeah, listen. There goes your inner strength, baby. You got this. Y'all got this. Push and pull, hot and cold, soulmate. Come on, look. This could be somebody. Hot and cold, push and pull, back and forth, patient. Spirit saying, be patient, right? Cause somebody still don't know what the fuck they want. Yep. You're about to celebrate. And then listen, let me make something clear. This ain't even about you guys waiting for anybody, right? This don't even have to be a romantic person. This could be a soulmate, could be a friend, a sibling, children, grown children, you know, shit like the people that we have these connections, these life attachments to, right? Friends, stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. This could be anybody, right? That was envious because you had the courage. Meaning nothing happens by coincidence. You had the courage. Listen to your intuition. Thank you, Spirit. Finish the sentence for me. You had the courage to listen to your intuition. Yep, and you took the risk. You chose you. You bet on yourself. All right, y'all. That's your message. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all on the next one.